Hey Fish Fam, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and today we're gonna be playing the deck that I've been running lately in my modern challenges, Simic Merfolk. No surprise there, but we're playing with Chalice of the Void in the main deck. This is basically the tech that has been working out for me for the last few weeks to nail those Prowess decks, to beat up on those Shadow decks. Chalice of the Void really pulls its weight because you usually bad game one, and you're not going to be bad game one, you're going to be great game one. If you want to see Simic Merfolk at a competitive level, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Before we get into our deck tech, we are going to, of course, thank our sponsors, starting with themanabase.com. The Manabase is the content site with podcasts, videos, and articles on Commander, Modern, Pioneer, Standard, and more. The Manabase is your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And Mana Traders. Mana Traders is the premier place to rent Magic cards online. And if you're the type of person that can't stick to a certain deck, for years on end, you got to play with something different week in and week out. You don't need to buy into any other deck and sell it at a loss. Rent it with Mana Traders, and you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below. Or if you're looking to save some money, you can get 15% off your first 3 months using my coupon code Nikachu. So we got some questions already. So some subtle differences between this list and the past list. I was playing with Smuggler's Copter, and now I'm replacing with Mirror Regery, because last week Green White Titan did really well in the modern challenges, and I think I like Copter, but it doesn't contribute to a lot of turn 4 kills. It's just like a good way of dealing damage over like the first few turns of the game, even up to turn 6. And I mean, good source of damage, but I think I need more powerful cards, and Mirror Regery is going to help me in that department. Not only that, Regery can help race and get some turn 4 kills against Titan decks, but Regery also, in combination of flash creatures like Trickster and Harbinger, you play your Regery, then on turn 4, you Trickster, tap down the lands of the Titan opponent, hit the Castle Garenbrig, hit the Karoo land. All of a sudden, they're down a bunch of mana. They thought they were going to play a Titan that turn. It's not going to happen anymore. So that's some good tricks that you could also do with Mirror Regery to slow them down so that you have one more turn to close the game out. So some unique features of this deck. I'm still with Chalice in the main. I think Shadow is very dangerous right now, and I think having access to this in the main deck is going to push the needle in our favor significantly. Also, I also think M. Hayashi's Obosh Prowess list is now just ridiculously popular. A lot of people are playing it. And I think game 1 is not good. I mean, I don't have a Master of Waves or anything. I can't compete with that mana efficiency unless I have a Chalice of the Void. And I actually, in the Sunday challenge, game 1, I played Chalice on 1. On turn 2, my opponent just scooped. They just scooped. They revealed Obosh as their companion. I played Chalice on 1. They just scooped. It was over. And then in game 2, I played a Chalice on 1 again. They're like, wow, this is fun. And then it resigned a few turns later. So yeah, I think and it's good against a lot of other decks. Like in the challenges, I played it on 0 against a blue-red Living End deck. I played it on 1 and 0 against Ad Nauseam. So you do end up in matchups where it is relevant anyway. And I think at 3 copies, you see it enough that you might see it once, but you don't see it too many times in the matchups where it might be dead. We also have Pithing Needle. So Pithing Needle actually is... I'm probably going to write some articles and make some videos on this. Actually, is a hidden hero of this deck. It helps in all the matchups we have trouble against. Like, there's a lot of creature-based decks that we're not good against because they have activated abilities and we only have so much removal. Pithing Needle hits all of that stuff. Pithing Needle can shut off our opponent's Ether Vials, can shut off Giver of Runes, can shut off Devoted Druid, shuts off Blast Zone, Engineered Explosives, Walking Ballista, Expedition Map, Karn the Great Creator. Names it all. Names it all. So there's a lot of really evil stuff that we could fear that Pithing Needle neutralizes. I named Giver of Runes, Colossus Hammer. So there's so much stuff that Pithing Needle hits that really deserves the 4X in the sideboard. I actually think that everyone should be getting their Pithing Needles. If you want to get those masterpiece ones, go for it. I think it's safe to say that this is definitely Merfolk toolbox worthy. Did I put it on my toolbox now? Is it in the toolbox? Is it in the artifact section? It's not in the artifact section. It's not canon yet. Hold on. It's canon now. See, it's in the toolbox. It's officially in the artifact toolbox part of, for Merfolk. It's there, people. Matt Maddock is like, thoughts on replacing 1Cs with Damping Sphere? Are you going to 4Cs versus a lot of non-Tron decks? Sphere also hits ad nauseum and does something versus Titan as well. You know what? I'm willing to sacrifice 1Cs if you want to do that. I'm not in love with it against the Titan decks, though, because especially green-white Titan, they're just trying to get one land at a time. Like, they're not trying to abuse Karoo lands. They might try to abuse Castle Garenbrig, but I don't think it's going to be that effective. I think it's more effective against the Amulet Titan deck, but I don't think it's going to be effective against the other decks. I might actually prefer the Spreading Seas overall. I might. But I have to admit that I think I could live with this many Spreading Seas in the deck. I'm not in love with the 4th Spreading Seas either. I'm in love with 3 of them, but I'm not in love with 4 of them. All right, with that, let's get into our league. See, here's the thing. Okay, we're up against Obosh Prowess. I have a Chalice of the Void in my hand. I did not win the die roll, unfortunately, but we got to keep it, definitely, because this is Obosh Prowess. I just have to hope they don't put, like, 3 1-drops on the battlefield. We have no turn 1 play, but I'm hoping this stabilizes and pulls us back into the game. It's going to be a big game no matter what. This is also awkward because I know I have... Ooh, Bomat Courier. So the latest and greatest in the M. Hayashi tech. Latest and greatest. Oh, Harbinger, big game. That was a huge top deck. We can play Chalice on 1 and then bounce this fool back to their hand. And then just not coming back down. So what do I bounce? The Bomat Courier or the Swift Spear? You be careful. I could have Dismember. I could have anything. Actually, I probably look like a Neoform deck to them. Okay, let's slow this game down. I still might die. Eating some burn for breakfast, eh? Yes. I love my burn. I guess I'm going to bounce the Swift Spear because Harbinger will represent blocking the Bomat Courier. Interesting, they didn't try to play anything. I guess they're going for a light up the stage. Did not go for light up the stage. And also, if we bounce Swift Spear, it'll get discarded to the Bomat Courier, so that's fine with me. I'm keep playing the blue sources because I need to play like Trickster into Harbinger in the future. I do have Bone Crusher Giant. That will be like just miserable to me. Were there any good cards beside the Cradles? The Heart of something. Would you like to discard your hand to draw a new one? Oh yeah, Gauntlet of something. I don't know the card, to be honest. It's a pony card. It's a very expensive pony card. Blood Moon! That is a card. And actually, Chalice of the Void now works for my opponent. Okay, so what do? I need another island. Cannot cast this card anymore. Why couldn't I draw that turn? Oh, it didn't matter. Yeah, if I drew it a turn earlier, I would have played Cavernous Souls and cast it. Well, this is a standoff I think I'm going to lose, to be honest. I know that M. Hayashi loves his Blood Moon right now. So we will be fine if we can draw one more blue source. I can go like Lord of Atlantis into something else, into something else. Okay, looks like our opponent's gonna exchange their hand. They're like, you know what, this hand's garbage. Let's draw 4 new cards. There's a Lava Dart here. I guess they might need lands to get this Obosh in hand, because I don't really know what I'm going to do about an Obosh when it enters the battlefield. Oh, 2 more lands. Okay, island. I need an island real quick, because my clock is really bad. You know, if this is really popular, maybe I should have Brazen Borrower in my sideboard, just so that I can, like... Brazen Borrower can also bounce things back to my opponent's hand, like Aether Gust, but the point is Aether Gust can interact better against Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Alright. I'm gonna die to this, what's it called? Obosh. No. This was not a game where I could find my second out of 7 lands. If only we had Manamorphose. That'd be that would be some amazing tech. Okay, we're not out of this. If I get this island, I'm gonna trickster this to the end of time. Island, to make this a game, please. Oh, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. I wasn't asking for that, but I didn't know. But here it is. Okay, now what? Are you gonna deal double the damage? If a source you control with an odd number would deal damage to a permanent or player deals double that damage, I'm gonna take some damage from you then. Or wait a minute, can I just double block? It's not double strike. So I, in theory, can double block and just deal with the Obosh. Like, you deal double damage, but it still dies. Yeah, I think we're on blocking duty here. But if we, I'm telling you people, if we draw that island, it's over. Nope, nothing. Island. I wasn't asking for that, but I'll take it. Shit, what do we do now? Do we just attack for the win? Like, I could just go Regery, tap down a Bosch, attack for 7. Then if you attack me for 6, I mean, I don't care. I think I should just go for it. Well, but there is one problem. If my opponent gets light up the stage online, that could really suck. The source you control with an odd converted mana cost would deal damage to a permanent or player. So hold on, would it kill both Regeries or just kill one? Because I think if you assign damage, they have to order it. 3 damage goes to Regery and then just deals 6 to it, and I keep the other one. I can block. You can block both Regery. Okay, that will work out. I attack for 4. The thing is, I could. Because I do. Okay, they can't. Okay, hold on, I'm trying to think. They can't have light up the stage because they would just cast that. They would just cast light up the stage. This is an interesting turn of events, people. This is an interesting turn of events. Also, I wish I had Dismember right now. I'm just gonna go for it. I mean, I think like I think this is a good opportunity to just try to win. Because I still don't think they can attack. If they attack, we were attacking for 10. The only thing that will suck is if they find a Seasoned Pyromancer. Oh, they top deck the light up the stage. They find garbage. No, they find another light up the stage, but they have to cast it. I think they should have attacked first, right? No, I guess that was might have been risky. Okay, they found Sunbay Canyon, Mountain. This is a bunch of garbage. Okay, we won. The game still went on. What was I going to draw next turn? Ether Vial was useless. Ether Vial was useless. I think that's a premature. Oh, I guess I could attack. You block something. You take 6. I guess I could have win in 2 more attacks, but they had a few more draws. Anyway, beating. First, I thought the Chalice was lights out, but then they follow up with a Blood Moon, and then all of a sudden the game changed direction again. Okay, we're gonna take out the Commander Speakers because of the Blood Moon. I have respect for Force Negation. It can counter sometimes Pillage. I also have respect for Spreading Seas in this matchup now. Because they play with the Blast Zone, you need, and I think you need to sometimes. Okay, first off, sometimes they have like a big wall of creatures with Seasoned Pyromancer, but also these M Hayashi Obosh lists are playing with Blast Zone. You need to have some answer to that. So I think actually it's reasonable to have a few Spreading Seas in the deck. I'm gonna take out Silver Gill Adept because it's pretty weak to everything. Actually, Silver Gill Adept. No, do you know what? I'm gonna keep Silver Gill Adept. That's one of the few cards I can play under a Blood Moon. We'll take out maybe a Mistbinder. Again, weak under Blood Moon, and yeah. Actually, I used to take out Silver Gill Adept in this matchup, so maybe that's wrong. It's weak to Lava Dart, but I can beat a Blood Moon. For sure they're gonna have Blood Moon. Okay, let's submit this. Oh, I forgot to do the pile view. Someone recommended I put everything in pile view and it won't crash anymore. But we saw the power. So far, we're seeing the power of main deck Chalice of the Void. You better believe I would have snap lost that game, right? You know I would just snap lose that game. Ugh, everything's laggy. I don't think this hand's very good. They began with 7 cards. I think this hand is too clunky for this matchup. I'm going to mulligan. Like, we're going to start the game on turn 2. Maybe we play a Reedry, but it'll just die. I'm going to mulligan. We have some hate cards. You better believe we're going to keep this. This is the hand. This is exactly what we were waiting for. Hmm. Okay, I'm on the draw. Let's dump the Spreading Seas. Unfortunately, there's not going to be another Spreading Seas that's on the way. It's still broken. It's just broken, period. Still broken. All right, our opponent has, and we have a mana base that's not vulnerable to Blood Moon. I'm not the only one. A lot of other people are also doing it. Does the deck you face have no 2-mana removal? They were probably bringing in the Bone Crusher Giants from the sideboard. There is there is Stomp though, if that's what you're asking. Light up the stage. Light up the stage. I knew it. No mountains. No mountains. But another light up the stage. Oh, yes, they need mana. They need mana badly, don't you? You'd love that mana. Let's do this again. Let's do this again. Let's run this back. Okay, please keep bricking on mana. Then it would be just an easy victory for me. Still no mana. Oh, you found a land in your hand. Okay. Well then, Waterlog Grove. I'm actually inclined to put... Okay, let's try to get this on the battlefield for 2 reasons. Oh, actually, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I was trying to get underneath Blood Moon, but I think I... And I was also trying to get around Stomp by threatening to put a Lord next turn, but they could just Stomp it right now. Yeah, that was a punt. I should play Silvergill Adept first and then threaten to play Mistbinder into Lord next turn. This is like the most infuriating card for me, in my opinion. Oh, they keep curving out. Oh, this is all gonna get countered, but it is gonna make a nice, delicious Swift Spear. I'm just getting too excited. I'll also say it's the people are making banging noises now. The banging has started. Okay, so let's... Okay, given our hand... Okay, so again, I went to play around Stomp. What I'm going to try to do is get the Silvergill Adept. I'll play both Silvergill Adepts. That's a bad land. How do I want to do this? I wanted to next turn... I wanted to find a land so I go Reedry into Lord next turn, and then that would be fine. This land is also a liability. Hold on, I need my secret weapon against the construction. I'm going to start playing with noise cancellation headphones. Alright, so... Damn it, this Waterlog Grove is going to deal damage to me every single turn. Could be my undoing. Great. I have completely blocked out the sound of iron being smashed into the ground. Well, I think I should play something this turn anyway. I'm going to hope that there is not a second Stomp on the way. That'd be very upsetting. And I'll pass. So there's a Lava Dart in the graveyard. We have to keep that in mind because they can just randomly give their Swift Spear Prowess. Yeah, no blocks here. Oh, another Stomp. Brutal. You know, they could say I'm lucky for having Chalice of the Void, but I'm pretty upset that my opponents always have like 3 stomps in hand. Okay, we can turn the corner though. Oh my god, I have another Chalice of the Void here. What to do with it? I'm also in chump block mode soon. I'm gonna hold on to this. Well, thanks for showing up now. This is completely late. Okay, play this, and I'm gonna attack for... I could try to double block. No, I'm gonna be aggressive. I'm gonna start attacking. I'm very likely going to crack this for just a random card. And then I'll plan on trying to block the Bone Crusher Giants with Swift Spear. I'm sorry, Silver Gill Adept. Sometimes I'd be scared of this because of Light Up the Stage, but our opponent's already played 2 of them, so... I mean, I also have the option to force negate it. Interesting. No Bone Crusher Giant. So you have another Stomp? That's what you're telling me. You have another damn Stomp. Uh-oh, this Ether... This, interesting. You have another Stomp? They have to have another Stomp. And sucks that Burn has been playing Obosh lately. It makes Spreading Seas way worse in my opinion. Far less mana symbols. Yeah, but I mean, it's not just the Obosh deck. It's like a million other decks are also playing around Spreading Seas. Well, Chalice on 2 could be a death sentence for myself. Because I don't have... I mean, I can't play Ether Vial, and also I cannot play... Well, it doesn't matter. If I played Chalice on 2, there'd be like a Stomp. Why didn't they play Stomp before, though? Are you serious? You have Stomp in your hand? Because they didn't play a Bone Crusher Giant, which means they have Stomp. And they also didn't put a Bosch in their hand. There's nothing else they can do with 3 mana. Which means I have to, like... I think I've got to wait on this. I think I got to wait for 1 more mana to put Reedry and protect it with Force or something. What else could it be? I know Reedry turns off Force Negation, so I need a 6th land. There's like nothing else. I'm just gonna attack for 4. And then I'm gonna play a Chalice on 1 and pass. So we have the backup Chalice. You know what I also could have... You know what? Maybe I screwed this up. Maybe I should have waited for a 3rd land. Sorry, 6th land. We just go Chalice on 3 and then say, screw you. You know? Then it cuts off both Bone Crusher Giants and anything else at 3. Oh, we screwed that up. It would hit Pillage, Bone Crusher Giant, Seasoned Pyromancer. Oh, we screwed that up. We should have saved this. I mean, yeah, there's Shattering Spree in the deck. Who cares? Who cares about our Reedry anymore? Alright, here we go. Can you rattle off your hand to kill me on this spot here? So that was a line that we could have taken. But then we would have to pass our turn and do nothing. And we don't have that many 3-drops in our deck. Oh, and Blood Moon? Wow. So maybe we should play for that plan. Chalice on 3? That's a strategy. When are you playing that Bone Crusher Giant? Oh, you want to play the Bone Crusher Giant now? It's time? Okay. Land, please. Not a land, but not too bad. I could... Here's this... I mean, I would really like to keep this Harbinger in my hand. I could go Reedry, Harbinger, tap Bone Crusher Giant, bounce Swift Spear, attack for a lot. They stomp this, but they can only attack me back for 4, and then I attack for 6. I can if I draw a Lord, I win. I think it's worth it. Because we at least deal with the Swift Spear at the very least. And they can't stomp us to death either. Okay, so let's attack for 6. And the deal is if they want to stomp this, attack me for 4, put me down to 3. That will be okay. Because if I draw a Lord, I will win with these creatures. And if I don't draw a Lord, I can attack for 4 and try to chump block. And we still have like a favorable way of winning the game anyway by going wide. And you can't play Stomp and then play another Bone Crusher Giant at the same time. They might also just go attack for 3. Sorry, attack for 4. If they attack for 4 and I don't block, I'm just not gonna block. That's fine. Like I can't die. Well, I guess I can die, but I'm assuming I'm not gonna die. Because you can stomp me down to 1, but that's it. And I have lethal. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good card. Firebolt and Swift Spear discarded. Alright, we get to untap with this Force of Negation now. Alright, how do we not lose? Damn it, now we'd have Chalice on 3 available. And there's still a second Bone Crusher Giant on the way. Well, I don't want to sit back. I'm going to attack. All these things are pretty good on blocking, so I don't mind. I think in the long run we win this. I mean, I might be wrong if they just rattle off a bunch of Seasoned Pyromancers against us. We do have to win within a reasonable amount of time. Like, remember, they can still play Blast Zone and then screw us up. They have another Seasoned Pyromancer. Alright, they're digging. They could also dig for an answer to Chalice. They discarded Shattering Spree. Do they not know how this works? Or they don't think they have the time? I mean, I'll block this easily. I won't block this one, though. I'll go to... actually, maybe I should have blocked this. Going to 1 is stupid. Like, I now have to block everything here. What have I done? Okay, that helped a lot. I don't think we have any favorable attacks here. So we just do nothing. Is there a way that we untap and win? If we can, like, draw, like, maybe another Trickster? Okay, so... They're going to... I have to do this pre-combat, unfortunately. Harbinger would be better because we could encourage our opponent to go for a big attack. And then, like, instant speed interact with them. Okay, I'm going to tap. I should just get rid of the Seasoned Pyromancers because they can make more tokens. If they die. Oh, if only we got the Chalice on 3 tech going. That would be sick. Be so sick. Okay, here's the good news about that. Our opponent may not be able to play Bone Crusher Giant now because they tapped out their mana hoping to kill me on the spot that turn. And now if we draw Trickster, we win? They block? Okay, we need a Trickster to win. Trickster for victory. Shit. And my life total's too low now. I guess I couldn't attack with a Harbinger even when I could. I exchanged it with a stupid token, and this Pyromancer was able to attack. Hmm. Oh, you're right, Lord Magicus. I actually could have got an extra damage in. No, 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 wait a minute. No, I couldn't. Could I? Oh yeah, you're right. You're right, Lord Magicus. Yeah, I could I missed an attack with Trickster. I missed an attack with like Harbinger. Attack for 3, and then I could still tap and still have 1, 2, 3 creatures. So that would change everything as well. All right, so let's pass. Let's hope the same thing happens again. I knew it. 3 Bone Crusher Giants. Why do they do that? I have all the Chalice of the Voids, but whenever that happens, they have 3 Bone Crusher Giants. That's bullshit. Bone Crusher Giant is a beating no matter what, anyway. I like how all that went. Okay, we'll submit it. That's correct. I am JK Torborg, but that doesn't mean you resign. You always force your opponent to win. First off, they might not even attack there. They'd be like, well, if this attack doesn't work, then maybe I'm dead. And also, like, why does my opponent keep playing on? Like, if they're dead on the board, then they're just dead on board. Wouldn't they resign? So if you keep playing on, you put that doubt in their mind. If you resign immediately, then you lose 100% of the time there. Your opponent can play around. Also, because my opponent doesn't know what's in my hand. They can't see my hand. Or I hope they don't see my hand. Are you seeing my hand, opponent? Huh? You stream? Are you ghosting? Trying to get a little bad edge on me? You want to be part of the wall of shame? I don't really like this hand. It's pretty clunky. I'm actually gonna. I think I'm gonna mulligan this. I mean, it doesn't have Chalice of the Void either. It doesn't have any high impact cards. Maybe if it had more Harbingers, it'd be useful. But this hand desperately depends on drawing, say, a second land, and also I can even go turn 1 Vial and they just go Shattering Sprint. I'm dead. So I'm gonna mulligan this. This hand's worse than the last one because now even if I draw another blue source, like all I can play is Spreading Seas. I think I'm gonna mulligan this too. Like, these are just clunky hands. I just can't curve out, period. Alright, I'm gonna keep this. I'm not in love with it, though. So we'll keep... Do I toss Vile and Mutavault? It's so bad. It's so... maybe I should have mulliganed to 4. I should have... Maybe, you know what? I think given this hand or, like, a random hand with Chalice, I should have went further. Can we undo? Give me an option to go further. Okay, we're gonna make the best of a bad situation. We're gonna dump... You know what? I actually am now going to keep the Mutavault just for threat density. This is so similar to the last 2 hands. I'm just going to leave myself really vulnerable to, what's it called? Shattering Spree. Because I need the threat density now. Curving out, like, doesn't matter. Honestly, I think I'm gonna be like it looks logical. Like, let's dump the Vial and the Mutavault, but now it's just 3 cards versus 10. You gotta, like, that's the thing about the Obosh Prowess deck. It's so high on card advantage. Like, you're never grinding them out. So I think I need to play really greedy here. And what makes this hand bad is, like, this is exactly what my other hands were, right? It's identical. They are the identical hands. Except I'm just 2 cards down instead of having 7 cards. Alright, the opponent didn't do anything. If we do nothing, that'll be fine. Can I attack here? Are you gonna Lightning Bolt my Mutavault? Lightning Bolting my Mutavault might be better than Lightning Bolting me. Actually, the deck plays hyper at sorcery speed removal, so I actually probably can attack with this Mutavault. I think the only thing that can kill it is a lightning bolt. It's like fire bolts. Like they're not going to want to lava dart and sack their mountain on this. Like that's not going to happen. Interesting. No 1-drops. They might have sided out some 1-drops, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the deck is like half the deck is 1-drops. So they can side out some 1-drops, but Chalice is still going to be effective. And that you know what? That was what I was afraid of in the other what's it called? When I was looking at our first 2 mulligans. Well, we got really lucky, but here's the downside. I think our opponent kept a hand with stomps in it. Or they kept a hand with Blood Moons, or a lot of heavy interaction for Chalice. Okay, here's the rule. If you're down, you can't play around anything. We're down too many cards. We have to win this game as quickly as possible. Let's get this Reedry on the board. Hope it survives next turn. And like, but it's too much to ask that it survives next turn, to be honest. Maybe I should still play Trickster and then follow it up with like Lord. Oh, they had Lightning Bolt anyway, so whatever. Yeah, but you can jam while trying to choke your opponent on mana. Okay, I'm going to pass the turn definitely here. I'll play Trickster at end of turn. I guess they have a handful of like Seasoned Pyromancers or something. You want to Firebolt me, huh? Alright, success. I'm actually going to take more damage because of the Waterlog Grove. I guess the best thing I can hope for is a land. I play Master of the Pearl Trident and attack with this Mutavault. Alright, well, if that's going to be the case, then this is what we're going to do. Do you know what? That's not too bad. If our opponent tries to stomp the Master of the Pearl Trident, I'll gladly force negate it, and then if we draw, say, Reedry or another Lord on the next turn, we attack for a huge chunk of damage. That's probably a good exchange as well. Like, this is a good spot to, like, stomp, get in for 2 damage, and if that's the case, we're going to win that exchange. Yep. Alright, so this has ended up being pretty good. We're actually tempoing out this deck. Because we're attacking for 8. If we have a Lord here, it's a big game. Big game of a Lord. Oh, Lord! That's big game. We're playing around all the stomps in the future, and we're threatening big-time lethal. That's 7 damage. I mean, that was big game. We're now playing around all the Firebolts, all the Lava Darts, the stomps. That was a huge top deck. This is big trouble. Oh, crap. Okay, forget it. Okay, let's see. Is there a Lava Dart? Yeah, a Lava Dart will cost you your mountain and take damage. Oh, you can't take damage from the Sunbay Canyon. That's a big problem. They're going to take damage again. Another Flame Slash, maybe? Another Firebolt. But they're going to be chump blocking now with their Swift Spear, because I'm attacking for 4. Like, it doesn't matter what I'm drawing, I'm attacking for 4. And this Sunbay Canyon is going to be a beating. Like, how do they curve out with the Sunbay? Oh my god! What do we do, people? I'm attacking. I hope they don't draw a land for their, what's it called? Seasoned Pyromancer. They have to chump block. There's no Lava Dart in the graveyard. How do we even get in this position? So they tap the land one more time for Seasoned Pyromancer, if that's even something they could even have. This looks so bad if they don't draw a land. How did this happen, people? How did this happen? Turns out my first game was fine. My starting hand was fine. They said good game. That was a tough one. I think that's a tough one for our opponent. They kept a very heavy controlling hand. I'm sure they saw Shattering Spree and they were like, do you know what? This is golden. It was golden. But we had relatively good draws. We drew into 2 lands and a steady stream of threats. We have to kill our opponent as quickly as possible, and lucky for us there, Sunbait Canyon was actually their demise. And actually, we ran really well in this third game to come back from a 5-card hand against a Shattering Spree on our turn 1 Aether Vial when I kept it as a 1-lander. And again, I kept the threats, remember? You remember how I mulliganed? I kept the threats because that's our only way of beating this deck. If I kept the lands, we'd be just lost. If I dumped Aether Vial Mutavault, we'd be 1 creature down, and our opponent's life total would be way higher here. So anyway, we do pull it through thanks to Chalice of the Void in the main deck for game 1. You got to remember, it was Chalice of the Void that helped us win this one because I designed the deck in the main deck. You have to be prepared for the Obosh Prowess deck. Hayashi is at the top of the leaderboard for a reason, and everyone loves this deck. You're seeing this really common. All right, so for everyone watching, we're going to keep streaming, but for everybody on YouTube, that's the game for today. We're going to thank all my patrons and Twitch subscribers for supporting the channel. We're also going to thank our sponsors, themanabase.com and Mana Traders. This has been Nikachu, Merfolk Master playing Simic Merfolk in Modern.